We are live on the Virtual Grip Network for the season finale of the OBRL YesterYear Racing Cup Series. YesterYear, where past meets present. I'm Zach Chapman, a.k.a. Shaggy, along with my partner in crime, B-Mac, Brian McRae. We're lucky enough to have the heartbeat of EGN, the absolute best at bringing all the sights and sounds, the one and only Ryan Seneker. Back in February, drivers started their quest to become the next OBRL Cup Series champion at the beaches of Daytona. From there, we had a few stops along our journey. We went to the East Coast, we went to the West Coast, and we even made a couple right-hand turns along the way, completing 4,777 laps this season. Tonight, after 35 races inside of their Steel Horses, drivers will turn their final 175 laps of the season. The playoffs have shattered the hopes of some, but tonight, the dream is still alive for the final four. Sean Foltz, James Hislop, Andrew Kotska, and Jerry Isaacs have their chance to cement themselves as the 8th champion here in the OBRL Cup Series. And with the heat all the way on high in the desert, who will prove to be able to keep their cool? Let's find out as we're about to crown a champion at the Phoenix Raceway. B-Mac, drivers are out there qualifying right now, man. If you were out there, what is going through your head? I mean, we've run 35 races, but you know what it means? All comes down to this right here. This could be everything.
It's down to this, and I tell you what, if you were one of those top four, you woke up early this morning, you were like a kid before Santa Claus. So excited to get to right now. You've been at this all season, 36 races long. It all comes down to this. And if you're one of those top four, it is all or nothing tonight.
Speaking of, let's go ahead. Before we do the points, Ryan, do the one that B-Mac sent us that you overhauled a little bit, because this is interesting. The top four guys here, this is their career in the OBRL at this racetrack. Now, Andrew not up top, but boy, oh boy, when you look at that, maybe he should be. And B-Mac, I think, obviously, 175 laps. You ain't crowning a champion yet. Lots of racing to do, but man, the bet's gotta be on Kotska. I mean, look at that. 4 starts, 3 wins. I mean, 1.5 average finish. You can't do much better than that.
Yeah, that's pretty dominating, Zach. I think this track is interesting. You know, Phoenix is a place where lots of guys are good, lots of guys are really bad, and some people, they just get it here. And it looks like Andrew is one of those guys who just figures this track out and able to get it done.
Yeah, and, I mean, definitely a tricky racetrack. And that being said, for the season finale, only 19 guys here. So, I mean, if you're on the outside looking in, you maybe needed a little help like we saw today in the NASCAR race, B-Mac. You may not get it. I mean, this has got all the makings of, man, this could go green for a long time, and you better start right away from the drop of the green flag.
And you better start managing tires right away. This track eats tires, and it is easy to get after it and easy to shred those things early. But, Zach, I think you're right. With this small field, and there's a pretty big spread among lap times during practice. I think the field's going to spread out pretty quickly, too. So this lends itself to a lot of long green runs. It would not surprise me to see this go green the whole way.
That being said, you think we can one-stop this? I mean, fuel shouldn't be the issue, but you mentioned tires. I mean, are guys going to be able to make this one stop if we would go green on, only 2 sets of tires?
You know, if you're one of those guys who doesn't have the raw speed to win or the raw speed to finish well, you might throw a Hail Mary and try it. I think the tire fall-off is so severe here, though, that you're just going to lose too much over the long run to make that work. But like I said, if you're one of those guys in the margins, it sure wouldn't hurt to try.
Well, I mean, there you see it. Your final four there going at it. Let's take a look here. At the starting grid, there's a man on that front row that, based off what we just saw, shouldn't be surprised there. Andrew Kotska goes out, grabs quick time, the 40 machine, going for his first ever championship here. I mean, Ryan brought up the point to us in the background. He was a triple-digit number to start this year, and here Andrew Kotska is competing for a championship, starting on the inside of the front row, the top shelf, Tom Ogle.
And inside of row 2, James Hislop, last week's winner, strong contender, and outside his teammate, number 78, Courtney Nelson.
Other points contender there on the inside of row 3, Sean Foltz to the top shelf, Greg McDaniel.
And starting 7th, strong run from the 93, Patrick Martindale. Starting 8th on the outside, number 5, Tommy Macy.
Robert Gorisco lines up on the inside of row 5 to the top shelf, Andy Thomas.
And our league president, Victor Lane, starts 11th, and on the outside, starting 12th, championship contender, Jerry Isaacs.
Dwayne MacArthur to the inside of row 7 to the outside, and, the boys caught it for me. McDonald's is back on the car. Scott Degas to the top shelf.
And starting 15th, the 09 Dave Matson. And starting 16th on the outside, newcomer 102, Todd Cousins.
And your final row here to wrap up the final grid call of the season. Lloyd Moore to the inside of row 9 to the outside, Roger Hurley. As we get ready to go, I'm telling you, that 40 machine, I don't know if he's more nervous to go or, if he'd like another pace lap, but he doesn't have a choice here, B-Mac. Pace car pulls off. We're going to roll through turn 3, and then it's time to go play.
Let's get after it.
See Kotska there, tail in the field. Does he decide to go? How aggressive does the new all-black number 11 of Liberace, Tom Ogle, look here? Does he go for a win? Is the green flag waves? It's time to play 175 laps to close it out in the desert.
Strong restart there from Andrew Kotska, the number 40, getting out to an early lead.
And I feel like that's kind of what he needs to do there, B-Mac, because, Ogle, he's got nothing to lose. Why not go out here, put the pressure on him, try to win? And right now, I'm not too sure. So, B-Mac, do you know something that I don't? Did Isaacs have a penalty? I just see Jerry come down pit road.
He may have had that's a green flag pass-through penalty from a previous race, perhaps, but I didn't see anything on the boards. I'll have to go check that out. I know that the 00 did have a green flag pass-through, so I'm guessing the 51 probably did as well. And here comes the 11. The 11's got one also.
Oh, man, no good there. That is a tough break for those guys. Now they're going to need the help of a caution flag, especially if you're the 51 of Jerry Isaacs, who I've said it all year. He's been the model of consistency. He's just turned laps, man. He hasn't necessarily been that top guy every week, but he's just been inside that top 10, top 5. And now, right here, you'll see the boys creep up. He's almost a lap down.
Yeah, those guys are quick enough. Both Lloyd Moore and they're both quick enough to be able to hold Kotska off for a little while, but I don't see that lasting very long. And really kind of messes up Kotska a little bit. He was enjoying that clean air and looking forward to having some clean racetrack, but now he's contending with lap traffic almost immediately. That certainly changes your rhythm a little bit.
Took the words right out of my mouth. That's where I was going, B-Mac, because you heard on the radios all afternoon today at Phoenix how important that clean air is. And really, I feel like if you're Lloyd Moore, you don't need to overdrive this race car, right, B-Mac? You just kind of put it in the race line, run your deal, and if Kotska wants to force it to get around you, make the leader burn up his stuff. But you're in no way, shape, or form supposed to let yourself go a lap down here.
No, but I think you're right on it. Lloyd Moore especially is really good at sailing the car into the corner and rolling it through and picking up the gas late. So it's naturally really good at saving tires. And in a situation like this, when you're close to being a lap down, but you've got clean racetrack, that's perfect for Lloyd because he can just, as you said, kind of set sail and be smooth and save those tires at the same time.
Right now, top 3 are championship contenders here, I believe. Yes, they are. Had to double check. Is Hislop, that's another one. I love that new paint job. We were all talking before we got going. It takes a set of cojones, B-Mac, to, in the midst of a wonderful season, you're in the Final Four, to change up your paint job. Maybe this is the spark that 92 needs to go get a ring here.
I don't know, man. After last week and the dominating performance he put on, he don't need much of a spark. I don't know if I'd change anything after that, but I'm a little more superstitious than that, I guess.
I'm right there with you. I was just, trying to find a bright spot, but I'm having trouble finding one here right now as he's watching Kotska slowly but steadily just eke out half a tenth here, quarter of a tenth there, and the lead is almost to a full second here, 9/10. As you see Tom Ogle come around, Isaacs come around, Lloyd Moore. Now we're back on your lead path.
It does not take long for this field to stretch out at Phoenix.
No, it does not. I know, obviously, okay, BMAC, iRacing, great. They do great. Simulation, maybe not necessarily there yet on the right front tire wear, but do you think we'll see the extent of tire wear that we saw today where, guys were losing that right front tire? Does anybody maybe go too long, overheat these things and blow it up?
That's actually really hard to do. Oh, was that Crisco there? Yeah,
yes,
Crisco.
It was.
That was a great save. He kept it going. Looks like he lost a couple of spots there, but whatever happened, he gathered it right back up.
Crisco, I tell you, that guy, he has had some saves this season. It is unbelievable. And they're add another one to the list. And BMAC, he's going right back down to the bottom. He's not worried about letting them cool it off here. He's going right back to work, man.
Getting after it.
Ooh, Dwayne MacArthur, there you go. Oh, I thought he was going to make the move there. He got the door slammed shut in his face.
He is not going to like that. I'm sure you won't see that stand up for very long. Not if he didn't do anything on purpose there. I think it was just rhythm there.
Yeah, and sometimes you just get looking up in that big rearview mirror a little too often. And now, well, Dwayne, as I'm continuing to watch him, Crisco in the bottom, Dwayne slapped the wall coming off of 2. Wasn't too bad. As you see the 77 of Roger Hurley, look, he may be fixing to get them both here. Thought he was going to cut underneath. Too early for that truck series move here, BMAC, I guess.
Yeah, I got a long way to go here. No sense getting yourself all banged up on lap 12.
But I'm telling you, it may be early now. I would assume that, a big shot on the outside wall.
That's going to hurt the car a little bit, I imagine. One thing about racing Crisco is he races everybody. Doesn't matter if he's a lap down, doesn't matter what position you're running in, you are going to have a race whenever you get up next to him.
Yeah, and we haven't seen Todd Cousins put on his shortage of racing either here. He's not afraid to send it in there. He does it once again.
With contact between the 77 and 102 there.
Yeah, Hurley goes up. Maybe thought he was going to be able to throw a slider there on Cousins, but Cousins holding his ground here, not going to let him go this early. And as I click up towards the front, Andrew Kotska just hanging out right now, holding it at about 0.8 of a second. Like what you're seeing out of your leader, BMAC, or would you maybe like him to see a bit more of a gap? I mean, how would you play this?
I think 0.8 of a second, especially here at Phoenix, is plenty, and there's no sense in burning your stuff up, especially early in the run. It's the first run of the race. You're not quite sure what the tire wear is going to do, so if you can play smooth and keep a lead, you do it.
Yeah, and, not to put you on the spot here too much, BMAC, because obviously every driver's got their own flavor here. But if you find yourself out front, how do you maintain that gap? Are you looking at it going down the straightaways, game planning off that, or you got one eye on it all the time? I mean, I know there are a lot of guys who, will swear by it either way, but for me, I personally like having the spotter tell me at the line. I like to turn that off.
I'm doing the exact opposite. I'm eyeballing that relative every single quarter to see if I'm getting the guy or if the guy's getting me.
Go. I mean, that's different ways to do it here, as long as you maintain that focus, and it seems like Kotska has been able to do that. But I am hearing all over, I'm sure you guys too, it's not too often, but BMAC, there are people clipping the outside wall, and we are only on lap 17, so we got a long way to go. You do not want to use up that right side just yet.
Yeah, it's a little early to be knocking walls down, but we've seen that a few times. This track, especially if the track's hot and the sun's out, it gets really uber slick, especially up in the top there. So not surprising to see guys kind of cut loose there. A lot of contact, too, a lot of incidental contact between cars arguing, kind of like the 28 and the 107 here.
Oh, man, I thought Crisco was maybe going to get into the 77 there. That was close. Hurley just left him enough room. I thought for sure he was coming down over him, but man, that was a big-time move there by Crisco, and then you see slides up, almost clips the wall.
Almost. It kept it off there, looks like. Man, being mid-pack, it is a hornet's nest, especially here at the OBRL. If you're mid-pack in any of these races, it is hard to pass. You got somebody, on your door pretty much the entire time. It takes a lot of patience to get through this traffic.
Yeah, patience, the key word there, B-Mac, because if you drive through there too aggressively, you know as well as I do, you're going to see that guy go back around you in about 25 or 30 laps. So you got to make sure, you're not driving the wheels off that thing and you're doing it the right way. Is right now, Tommy Hennessy just hanging on the outside. I mean, that's a guy who, do I expect him to compete for a win here tonight? Maybe not, but he is a guy who you can see nurses the tires here in the beginning of the run, and towards the end, Hennessy, he may click you back off if you don't get too far ahead.
Well, look at the car, really well balanced through the corners. It looks like he's not working the wheel too hard. He's maintaining that high line consistently. So that means he's probably not turning the wheel as much, and he's probably not putting the lid on those tires as some of the other races are right now.
Yeah, and one of the other guys looking like he's maybe doing that, the 102 of Cousins, you see him send it in there underneath and really drives it in deep to the center of the corner, still trying to catch it as he goes up the hill. And BMAC, well, you know as well as I do, while that may be a short-term solution, you get that right front too hot, man, it is going to be mad at you here in about 10 or 15 laps.
And it's going to be interesting to watch Cousins over these next 10 or 15 laps because we've seen him running side by side and getting after pretty much every car. So we'll see if he's doing that well and taking care of the tires or if he's tearing them up.
Now, not to, put the pressure on guys like Sean Foltz, but he's running around in third. You got two championship contenders in front of you, B-Mac. Where's that line? I mean, how far are you willing to fall back behind Kotska second-wise, before you start to panic and maybe even think about a short pit in a situation like this? Because, I mean, you know as well as I do, third place, that doesn't bring home the trophy tonight. You gotta go win.
That's right. You got to do what the other guy isn't, and I don't want to see that car get too small in the windshield. Phoenix is one of those tracks to where that lead can get out of control really quickly. So I think where Sean is right now is pretty good. You can still see him in your front windshield. You got a pretty good idea of where he is, and if you do have to make a green flag stop, you'll see him dip in and have time to react. So I wouldn't want to be much further than this, but Sean is sweating it. We still got 150 laps to go, so it's a long, long way. But I bet you Sean's up on that wheel, ready to go.
Yeah, that's why you were thinking the same thing, that many laps to go. That's why I'm starting to do some digging in my brain. I don't know if you're Sean, and we don't know. I don't know if he has the car to win or not. I don't know if he's just pacing, but right now, I mean, is there any thought going through your head, B-Mac, about possibly starting to push the pace of this race and turning it into a two-stopper rather than trying to go 90 laps on one set of tires, maybe do 3 sets of, 55 laps, something like that? Anything like that going through your mind?
Not yet, but I wouldn't be surprised to see someone do that down the road. I mean, and Sean in particular, Sean seems to have, will take care of his stuff early and be conservative, and he will be there late. And so whatever move he makes, whether it's a crazy move in the pits or getting faster on the last stop, that's when you'll see him, kind of turn and burn.
And you've got to wonder, too, I mean, obviously, Kotska, kind of pacing himself here out front. But, man, if you're Jerry Isaacs, if you're Lloyd Moore, you had that penalty early on. Notice that leader has not gotten around here, P-Mac. I mean, that clean air, as we have said so many times throughout the year, it is king. And, yeah, Kotska may be quick, but he definitely can't unleash the beast, I don't think, like he'd like to.
For sure, and if you're one of those you were just begging for a caution, you've been begging for a caution ever since the green flag dropped. So he's doing a good job of staying out in front of Kotska. But I think Andrew right now looks like he's just taking it easy. I mean, he's got a good gap, about a second gap on his lap right now. So he's not really impressed. And so if I'm him, I'm trying to take care of my stuff and trying to keep that same distance between the car running second place and see if I can't make him stretch the pace and let me stay smooth.
And if if let's say James does catch, if you're Kotska, there's no way you can't turn it on a little bit. I mean, I would think you got to hold on to the lead, right? I mean, even if that guy maybe catches you, runs a little quicker pace than you're comfortable with, I would think that P1, man, that's absolutely everything. He can't just pull over.
Especially on Championship Sunday. I think on a normal Sunday, maybe you're doing some strategy, but I think on Championship Sunday, I want the track position. If I can lead the race, I want to be leading every single lap.
There we go. You see these four. I mean, Briscoe able to hold off Cousins. We've seen this for a while. Cousins trying to go at him. He went on the outside about 10 or 15 laps ago. Crisco was able to get away and kind of put some space in between them. But now they're right back together. This has been a fun little battle to watch here, Brian.
It sure has, man. You just put them in a hat every lap to see which one's going to come out on top. But this has been a good battle so far. Cousins is just not letting Crisco get by, and they've been battling lap after lap after lap.
No, and I don't want to bring the voodoo curse out, but it would be nice to see Isaac's back on the lead lap if this does work. But the way these guys are driving, and there you see Cousins kind of set up, they are asking for a caution here. Back, this is as close as we've been to one.
Yeah, Cousins slid the tires pretty good there, so he's caught that one, got lucky with the save. That was a nice job to keep the car straight. But yeah, these guys are begging, asking for one of them to get in the wall and cause a caution here. But so far, so good. They've been doing a good job of keeping it racing, but keeping it clean.
No, not that this really matters here, I don't think. But random question for you, B-Mac. I'm going to put you on the spot. You may not even know. If I'm Scott Negus right now and I wreck the car, we know how penalties work. Do I get a penalty at Daytona next season?
That's actually that's a great question. So that mixed enforcement. The league that I run, the Monday Night League, we don't carry over penalties, although I think we're going to start. But we started serving global penalties. So if you let a penalty hang too long in a league, I think over 6 weeks, I believe, then you have to serve it at the next OBRL race that you run. So, for example, I caught a penalty at Daytona here on the Cup race, and I had to serve it in my Monday Night League a couple of weeks ago. So I think because of that rule, we will probably see penalties start to carry over. And one of the things you might ask is, well, if we're not carrying over penalties, do you take a chance of maybe causing a wreck or wrecking somebody on purpose? And
ding, ding, ding.
That question comes up a lot, but none of our guys have ever done that. That's something that's action that I have never seen from any driver in all of my time here at the OBRL. So I think if that's something that, if it were a problem, we would definitely enforce it differently, but that just hasn't been an issue here.
Look at Lloyd Moore, not to get off. Amazing explanation there, B-Mac, but I expected Lloyd to maybe put up a little more of a fight than that. He pulled over. Now he's got to hold out for the lucky dog here as Lloyd gets in the outside wall. Now Hislop going to try to make a move, but Lloyd goes to the bottom. Hislop, he's maybe a little TO'd on that one.
Again. I wonder how much the handling of Lloyd's car changed. He'd been out front, in that clean air the entire race. And as soon as Kotska got in front of him, you saw him getting to the wall, getting tight a couple of times. So you wonder how much his handling changed whenever Kotska got in front of him.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Sliding up the hill, you just lose that front downforce. And, I mean, you know how it goes. You're out there, you're running 30 laps or so, you get in a rhythm, and all of a sudden it starts to change. And not necessarily easy to react here. I mean, these are big pieces of machinery, and I would say the most interesting part there, B-Mac, I mentioned how Hislop, he kind of got slowed down a little bit. He was still able to reel him in. I mean, 7/10 at the line. Hislop, he may have a loaded gun here tonight.
Well, if last week is any indication, he put on a clinic last week, and in the post-race interview last week, he said he ran 1,000 laps at Martinsville to prepare. Now, if he did that kind of preparation here, I would not be surprised to see him running up front.
That's that dedication. That's something you can just see. It is on point. He floats out as close to that outside wall as he can. Absolutely using it all up. And Well, B-Mac, you know as well as I do, if you can open that wheel up a little bit, if you're comfortable, as you see Kotska clip the wall there, I mean, he is feeling himself. That is something you can't add that kind of stuff to your confidence just without that happening. I mean, he's reeling in one of the quickest guys we've had in the league all season.
And just like last week with surgical precision, if you watch him drop into the corner here, he'll put that left wheel down on that yellow paint, and it will not move. And you won't see him falter. You won't see him put a wheel wrong. That kind of consistency is what wins races and wins championships here at the OBRL.
And there you see as I start yanking the chain, Kotska, he maybe heard me. I may have to turn my volume down. He turned it back on. He's just a little quicker here, because now maybe he's starting to feel a little more comfortable. He's got that clean air again, and that'll be interesting too. How close, if you're his lap, B-Mac? I mean, obviously you're feeling it right now. I mean, you're within that second and a half. You're going to feel it a little bit. But I feel like if he gets much closer, if he gets down to about 5 or 6 tenths of a second, he's within the range of, there's no going back. I have to try to make this move, or I'm going to keep scrubbing my front tires too hard.
That's for sure. And once as you start to creep up on that car in front, the air gets choppier and choppier and choppier. It gets harder and harder and harder to pass. So you want to make that move as soon as you can. So we've got somebody on pit road.
Yeah, Tom Embassy, I believe, here in that Genesee beer machine. I thought, and here I was giving him credit running the high side. I thought we were thinking about going long. He may have been struggling early because he's one of those guys. This is definitely going to be, at minimum here, a 2-stopper for the 05, I'd think.
Yeah, it's definitely early. I wonder if he had some sort of a problem, or like you said, he just ran the tires off. That is easy to do here, especially if you're running mid-pack and running side-by-side with people for these 30 or 40 laps. It is very easy to scrub off all the tire.
Oh, you're speaking to the qualifying king, B-Mac. I'll go out here. I'll put the car in the top 5, but the tires are gone in 7 laps. It's the worst fate as a driver here. You want to go out and actually race, but instead I'm just a 1-lap hero. It's humbling.
See his lap getting to the wall there. A lot of people flirting with that outside wall. Yeah, to your point, that's the hardest thing for me about stock car racing versus road racing is when you're road racing, the tires stay pretty consistent through the run. So when you go into a corner, the corner acts just like it did the last time you were there, so you can be consistent and expect the car to do the same. Stock car racing is exactly the opposite. Every single corner, the tires are worn differently, and so the car behaves differently. And sometimes that behavior comes a little bit at a time, and sometimes it's like you said, where all of a sudden the car just behaves completely differently than it did the lap before.
Yeah, and, to the point about the tires, too, obviously, you feel it age gradually, but you see Crisco got a little loose coming off it, too. And, well, as you start to burn off some fuel here, B-Mac, that rear end gets a whole lot lighter. And, a mistake that you can catch on lap 2, lap 10, it becomes a whole lot harder to catch right now.
Yeah, worn tires and a light rear end, that's a recipe for going around.
You see Embassy, look at that. I mean, Superman. Oh, he's got the cape on, but he got into the back of the 09. Oh, no. He was flying through the field with the cape. As my wife reaches over and shuts the window, must have thought I was getting too loud, but man, oh, man.
The closing rate on new tires is just so fast. And I imagine that Macy, look how fast he runs up on Matson there. There's just nothing either one of them could do there.
No, and
just enough to put him into the wall.
That's what I was going to say. You never want to spin and get put into the wall, but honestly, B-Mac, for getting in the wall like that, not a lot of damage.
Look at that closing rate. He just closes on him so fast. See, Joe, that's pretty significant damage on that left front, though. Looks like he hit it twice, too. Insult to injury.
He was just trying to buff it out with that second one, I think.
It's like the whole field's coming onto pit road.
Yeah, and now
the 4 new ones.
And now it's interesting. So after we come in here, we get these sneakers. We got 2 more sets, right, B-Mac?
Correct.
Okay, so man, it makes it so much harder. If you watch the NASCAR race, how it came down to, I won't ruin it for you, but we did have a late caution, and tires, well, in real life, maybe didn't prove to be such a big deal here, B-Mac. Now, that being said, we're early. Everybody's getting 4. But do we think about 2 later?
Man, I don't know. That's two tires is always tough. Has always been tough for me because it upsets the balance of the car. Sean Foltz is actually fantastic at getting 2 tires. He's won a couple of races that way, and so I think it depends on your style and depends on your risk tolerance.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to think. I mean, we've heard Foltz, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, had talked to us about he'd even practiced the 2 tires. You got to think every single driver that's at least in playoff contention here, they've had to have tried it. I mean, you would think, right, BMAC? They have to kind of know, hey, if I get 2 tires, the car's going to feel this way.
For sure. You try. That's one of the things you try to do in your practice sessions to see if you can get 10, 15, 20 laps on a set of tires and come in and take left sides or right sides and see what it does.
Yeah, and it's setting up even better here for. I forgot all about Jerry Isaacs. How could I forget about Jerry Isaacs? The man needed this. Here, B-Mac. He is on. Now he's back towards the tail end of the lead lap, obviously. But that man, he is ready to play. He's got over 100 laps to try to put his name in that hat.
Plenty of time.
You know what they say here, I mean, the last jinx works. Hopefully this one doesn't work. Well, opposite jinx, but cautions breed cautions. We'll see if the boys behave as we roll through 3 for the final time. The green flag's high. She's ready to fly. We are back underway at the Phoenix Raceway.
And once again, Andrew Kotska just gets one heck of a restart, just leaves the field behind.
Look at Courtney Nelson here trying to play up front. Courtney, he was a dog this season. Got eliminated after a tough round 2. I mean, just didn't go his way at Talladega. Had the penalty at the road course. And this is a guy, B-Mac, I know he can't win the championship, but he sure as heck would like to hold one more checkered flag.
This man knows how to win races, too.
So now, all of a sudden, Sean Foltz and James Hislop may be the biggest Courtney Nelson fans on the racetrack. Courtney starting to pressure Andrew Kotska. Does he make the move into 3? Side by side, Courtney Nelson on the bottom. Kotska upstairs. He gets the big run off the top shelf. He can shut the door. Courtney Nelson gonna have to wait.
Yeah, Kotska does not want to give up the track position here, so you saw him really take that outside and drive it hard into that corner. And Nelson's going to take him on the inside here.
He ain't going to give him a choice here, B-Mac. He is going to force his hand. He said it is go time. And the 5-hour energy machine leads the show here at the Phoenix Raceway. Kotska led the first 50, not going to lead 51.
I got to tell you, anytime I'm racing with Courtney, anytime I see that 78 in my rearview mirror, I'm not a happy camper because that boy is coming to the front.
And now you're seeing Andrew Kotska get right on that deck lid here. He's got to make the move. He doesn't want to burn up those front tires, doesn't want to be stuck in traffic. He knows it's going to be easier for James Hislop to make the move. Speaking of, he drives into the outside. Does he try to diamond off? Maybe get the run off of 2? Can't do it this time. Or 3, excuse me.
He's got Hislop right on his tail. He's really got to watch here, and Foltz is arguing right behind him. 3 of your 4 championship contenders, nose to tail. Doesn't get any better than this.
No, it does not. And I'm telling you, Courtney he's upset that he ain't in this playoff championship trying to win it, but it will mean something. Could he hold off these boys? And, I'm hearing him touch the outside wall. That's Crisco there as he crosses the line. And looky who underneath. Jerry Isaacs.
The thing about Jerry is when you race him, he is very smooth. You don't see him make a ton of mistakes. He's really easy on the car, so he's going to take it one car at a time, and he'll probably be there at the end.
Jerry, he's stuck in that no man's land, though, here, B-Mac. We talked about it, middle of the pack, and you got to think, arguably, the best thing going for Isaacs is Ryan read my mind. He clicked on Tom Ogle. Look at that.
Yeah,
that may be the best car to follow.
100%.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Tom's ready to go. And look at Crisco in the outside wall one more time. Boy, oh boy, there ain't going to be much left of that right side. And that was a close call. I think Negus had to get on the binders there to not get in the back of him. Good save by those two. We almost had another caution.
Yeah, Negus snuck into the wall there, too. They're trying to scrape all the paint off the wall today.
Yeah, you know, maybe, I mean, McDonald's, they are, you know, a Coke company. Maybe he wants a little more red on those walls. These walls are pretty blue here, but Sean Foltz. Yeah, Kotska, he was trying to set up an over-under there, and so was Foltz, and Hislop clips the wall. It didn't look too bad, but man, oh man, Hislop really having to work right now just to hold on to P3. He's not able to cruise like he was towards the end of that first stage, and look at Isaacs on the bottom. Oh, Jerry Isaac!
No caution yet. We're going to stay green here. That's a one beautiful save by Isaacs, but you know he is hating this track position right now.
Yes,
so
he is.
You know, you have to go, and you have to get aggressive here, but...
And you could see that kind of funked up in front of him. You could see Tom Ogle almost got into the back of, I believe that was the 93 of Martindale, and kind of goes up the racetrack. And I'm sure, you know, center of the corner, you give it a little extra wheel than you're used to, BMAC, you know, that can unsettle that race car, shift the weight. And that's probably what happened there.
Yeah, if you clip the apron or clip that paint, that's another, will also upset the balance of the car as well. So he saved it, and we're still green here.
And Jerry, he was worried. He heard our conversation. He didn't want that penalty for next season. But, man, he may wish he maybe got a little sideways there and lost maybe one or two more spots just to gain the overall track position. But he has got another long run ahead of him here. As Tom Ogle, he's trying to make the move one more time under Martindale. We saw how it went last time. Martindale with a drive off the corner here, not going to give it to Tom. He's going to have to work for it.
Martindale's got the general right behind him.
Yes, he does. The general, he will be seething to get to the back of Tom Ogle. Now he will use Tom Ogle as the proverbial snow plow here to try to gain some track position. You see Tom is able to get around Martindale, but now Martindale, oh, I thought he was going to drive it in there deep. He's entering that half a lane lower. Oh man, he's flirting with the paint down there, B-Mac.
Yeah, Patrick's putting on a strong run today. He's hanging with the big boys.
Speaking of hanging with the big boys, right now the big boy is Courtney Nelson. Andrew Kotska staying right there in second. For James Hislop, you know, you don't want to overdrive this BMAC, and I hate to, you know, keep making up stories that aren't there, but I feel like if you're James, while Kotska's in second, this is probably, and you know, like I say, easier said than done, but if you're going to make the move, you probably want to do it before he's out front.
Absolutely, and try to use your teammates as a pick if you can. But right now, with the 40 to 78 going at it, Andrew Kotska's not able to put down those strong lap times. So that is definitely time to go get him. And you see Hislop closing the gap little by little. He's got the open track, and Kotska doesn't. So he's going to bring that gap up just 1/10 at a time.
Oh my gosh, B-Mac, your insight is amazing. I forgot that they are teammates. What a game. You had to think that is why. I mean, obviously, Courtney wants to go win. I'm not saying anything funny is going on. But when when your teammate's running for a championship and you maybe couldn't get around that guy, you're going to do everything you can to try to help out that buddy who's been there for you all season.
Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with teammates working together, and we do it all the time. That's one of the best parts of having a team in the first place. You see, he's clipped the wall 2 or 3 times in the last few laps. Gotta wonder if that's going to start affecting the handling at some point.
Yeah, it's at least going to affect, you know, what's going on between those ears. I mean, that's got to play a head game when you're watching those two slowly walk away from you. I know it's not, you know, big, but when you're looking at it under the magnifying glass, like you said, every one of those hits, man, that is going to add up.
Yeah, aero's not huge here at Phoenix, but it's important enough, especially on the front, that if you damage that front, you're going to feel it. Well, top 5 running nose to tail right now.
Yes, they are. As we approach lap 67 here, getting closer to the halfway point, but still plenty of racing here left in the desert. Kotska maybe thinking about, getting the race going a little earlier here. Oh, he clips the outside wall when he picks up the throttle, and man, Kotska, he can smell the championship, but boy, oh boy, he does not want to be stuck behind that 78.
Yeah, we're going to start seeing that now with the tire wear falling off a little bit. We're going to start to see who saved tires and who didn't. And Kotska seems really good at doing that over long runs, so it wouldn't surprise me at all to see him edge past the 78 here in the next 10 laps.
Speaking of edging past there, I just watched the back of the screen. Tom Ogle gets around Roger Hurley here. Is Ogle going to move himself up to P6, inching closer to the top 5, and just like before, looky who, a couple spots back. There's the general, Dwayne MacArthur. His Todd Cousins pulls on pit road. He may be calling it a night here. Kotska clips that outside wall, but he's got a big run here. He didn't want to lift out. Man, I'm telling you, that's that danger zone I was talking about. He is so close. You want to be there, B-Mac, but man, he is working those front tires so much harder right now than he wants to.
Yeah, he started to press the last lap. He's trying to get past him right here. And Courtney is very difficult to pass. So he is not going to make it easy.
If you're Kotska, it's well, we know I've talked about it all season. Brian, you guys, cleanest group, your rules amazing. It's just but right now, if you're the 40 and you see that guy in your rearview mirror getting a lot closer, you maybe got to throw that rule book out the window here and go take this one. Andrew Kotska, he is working as hard as he can, but man, he may have to use that nose.
If there was ever time to throw a slider, this is it. Hislop's got to be loving this. He's got to be loving his teammate out front, making Kotska battle, making Kotska tear up his tires, and Hislop can just run right and stay in his tire tracks and be smooth here.
Yeah, we'll throw the jinx out there. I'm good at it, but this thing stays green here. I would imagine, Brian, we're not going the rest of the way on fuel. So when you decide to come down pit road here, man, that could be absolutely everything. And you know as well as I do, we haven't even talked about it. This is no just for a storyline out there, people. One of the more difficult pit roads to kind of enter. You're full cranking the wheel left while you're on the brakes. You cannot lock that up and come back out on the racetrack.
That's right, and especially here in the OBRL, getting on and off pit road under green is a skill, and the guys who win races are really, really good at it. It's something that we all practice, and so that's going to be key. Is number one is when do you come down pit road? Do you pit early and get your good tires early and make up the track position, or do you go wrong and have to have good tires there at the end? So it's going to be interesting to watch.
Now, obviously, I wouldn't expect anything like that. And if they did, it wouldn't be a bunch to where, it would truthfully affect the race. But it's kind of gamesmanship. But I think if you're Andrew Kotska, you can't come down behind the 78. And you B-Mac is now, he's going to make the move on the outside. Let's see. Oh, he gets in the outside wall. Oh, Courtney Nelson. He was playing defense for his teammate there. Gets loose, trying to hold off Kotska. Kotska slapped the outside wall pretty hard. We'll see it here.
There.
Yeah. Oh man, B-Mac. That's gonna all but do it there for the 78.
Yeah, that's gonna ruin Courtney's day. That's heartbreaking. You got to wonder how much damage Kotska picked up. That was a pretty hard lick into the wall.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking for one on my own screen here to see if I can turn a rear chase camera to see how much damage that is. It doesn't look too bad. He may have hit it square enough on the side, at least from my angle, but Hislop definitely in the spot where you want to be now. And I would say Courtney Nelson, he did his part for James here tonight.
He did and paid the ultimate price doing it. And look who's right behind him. Yeah, Kotska's car looks pretty clean. I'm surprised he's not showing a whole lot of damage, but look who's running P3. Sean Foltz, sneaking back there.
And you never know. I mean, how Kotska's driving right now, how upset he is. You know, that red mist comes over you. I mean, that can be the worst thing. And if Sean catches him in one slip up here and Kotska loses another, man, that is going to make it that much harder to climb out of the hole here.
Now, we still got 95 laps to go. We still got a long race here. Nelson's dropping really fast. Looks like he's got some serious damage. The handling on that car is all messed up. And I'm sure he is cursing behind that wheel right now.
Yeah, it looks like to me as we look on it straight, you see that left front wheel, it's angled in. It looks like it's kind of pointed up towards the racetrack. That ain't going to go too long there for Courtney. That is really going to burn up those tires. You can see as soon as he straightens the wheel out, and yeah, the left front's angled there. It immediately just kind of turns right. That's going to be a long day.
Yeah, that's a serious toe damage right there. You got to wonder how far his steering wheel's turned over going straight.
I'm wondering how long Hislop can hold off this man as we see Kotska right there up on the deck lid. And this view, it's interesting to see BMAC guys shifting to the outside now here. I mean, we kind of expect it as as the tires age. But right now, I think you need to float up to the outside to get that pass done. So maybe drivers more willing to leave that bottom lane open than in the beginning.
Definitely. I think as the tires wear, it definitely is advantageous to work the outside, so you leave that door open a little bit. And in fact, you might invite someone to try to pass on the inside and just hang on their shoulder and kind of push them down and bring them in them a little bit.
That's what Foltz wants to hear. Because if Hislop tries that with Kotska, they make a little contact. I mean, he might find a 2-for-1 discount here in the desert. We'll have to see what kind of moves he can pull off here as we inch closer. We're on lap 83. Man, we've still got green flag pit stops here, B-Mac. Plenty of racing to go.
You wouldn't know these three there are going at it like it's the last lap. You got to love this, though, man. The top three fighting for a championship, fighting for the race win. This is what it's all about right here.
Now, we've seen Foltz. Obviously, we're just, playing a little game here, B-Mac. But if you were to put all of these guys on an even playing field right now, you may have to give the advantage, just trying to find one to the 59. I mean, he has been the king of kind of playing strategy games, maybe being that first guy to go or the overcut. I mean, Foltz, you mentioned it. He's right there with those guys. I mean, he may have the best shot to win this thing.
One thing I've noticed about Sean today is he has not been pushing the car. You haven't seen him in a whole lot of side-by-side battles. You haven't seen him put a whole lot of damage on the car. He's just kind of hanging out, running his line, staying smooth. So it would not surprise me one bit to see him pull a strategy move, either coming into the pits early, coming into the pits late, something that's going to change the tenor of this race.
And Hislop, he is just the ice going through his veins. He is just on rails right now. Not one mistake. Kotska clearly, maybe half a tenth to a tenth quicker here, but in racing, B-Mac, that's nothing. It's one thing to catch a guy. It's another thing to pass him. And speaking of here, well, we got Todd Cousins coming up on new tires. So do we have another Superman situation here? He's got to behave here as he comes up on the leaders.
Yeah, you cannot take out the leaders here.
Cousins on the outside. Now, if you're Hislop, you got to be looking in the mirror, right? You got to open up the bottom. You don't want to pinch yourself down coming off corner exit here. Well, Kotska, he's going to race him. So maybe no big deal here if you're Hislop. Pay attention. Let him go now.
Definitely, you want to get him out from. You want to get him in front of you as soon as possible, as cleanly as possible, and in a way that doesn't break your momentum. So it looks like he's going to give him the high side instead.
Yeah, and this is where you brought up break your momentum. You can see he doesn't float up the whole way because he doesn't want to shut the door. So Hislop, he's got to be smart about this. Maybe wants to. Well, no, we're going to keep doing this. This could get hectic here because obviously the 102 quick now, but I don't think has the pace of the leaders. And as you know, he starts to dice it up with these guys, that tire fall off may come back, and Cousins he may have to hold on here.
Yeah, Cousins is not going to do that for 20 laps. No. But his lap is loving this. He's loving having the buffer of Cousins in between him.
Yeah, which, you know, I'll eat my own words there. I was kind of fighting against it, but you're right. I mean, it seems like it, for the moment, it has paid out. Cousins doing a good job of, obviously, he doesn't really have a hand in this one, doesn't want to affect the outcome of a championship, so he's got to behave.
Yeah, but he's also trying to get his lap back, so he's, you know, trying to race, get back on the lead lap. So you got to give him a little bit of credit for doing that, but it is definitely a balancing act because you do not want to wreck the leader here, especially if you're a triple digit.
And that's right, I forgot, as our producer in the background tells us, he is 6 laps down. That's right, because he had that black flag. We had saw him sitting on pit road earlier. So he did lose a couple laps, so that's definitely also going to affect him here a little bit. Well, kind of surprising, I would assume now, getting fed that information, even with the newer tires. If he starts getting pressure from Kotska, he may want to get out of the way, or Kotska, you know, he may get a little frustrated about the whole situation.
Yeah, I think if you're 6 laps down, you just got to move over here. This is, you know, whenever I'm racing, if I'm a lap down, I don't want to be part of the story. Like, I don't want to be up there with the leaders mixing it up if I can help it. So I'm going to back out, maybe let Sean and Andrew get by me here and then go right around.
Because we both know in the dream world, I mean, Kotska's going to try to stay close. He's going to hope that, you know, he makes the move on his lap, and his lap maybe gets hung out. He can make the pass for the lead. I mean, that's going to be his easiest way to do it. So Kotska, he won't let off.
Like his lap stretching it out a little bit here.
Yes, he is. I came under a sneeze attack. My fault, B-Mac, if I get quiet again there. But I can feel the nose tingling. I got a good chance of another one coming. And Embassy, he's back down pit road again. So he's going to run out of tires here tonight.
Tires, yeah, that's a tough one. Watch his like going through the corners again. You know, when he has clean racetrack, he is like a surgeon. He's real smooth, running the seam, very little movement in the wheel, and you see him picking up a little bit of time every corner. Looks a lot like last week.
Inching closer this time to lap 95. Is there a number you have in mind when you'd make your green flag pit stop?
Oh man, I have no idea. I mean, we still got what, 80 laps to go, so I might be trying to go 20, maybe even 30 more laps if I can. But we're gonna see the field dictate that. Like, it'll be like last week when we see a couple of cars, you know, once the first 2 or 3 cars go in, you'll see everybody go in.
So we came down, obviously we had a couple caution flag laps there, but they came down lap 46, so probably took the green on 49. So thinking not even 50 laps yet on this set of tires. Man,
yeah,
maybe I'll stop sneezing here, B-Mac. Boy, oh boy, I'm fighting these.
I think I might want to go at least another 20 laps if I can, but man, you got to be screaming for new rubber right now. These cars got to be sliding all over the place. Like the 77 and the 1 going at it. Hurley almost got sideways there.
And obviously running a little towards the back, but Scott Negus, he is making his way down pit road.
Our first taker. Can they make it the rest of the way here?
From here they can, because I think we could go 130 laps on a tank. I believe pretty close to it. So I would think we're going the rest of the way. Now, when we were here the last time, this is one of the places where Kotska, I believe, made the mark. Other guys came down, for that extra set of tires. And Kotska showed, hey, you didn't really need them. Stayed out, did a fuel only, I think, and collected that one. I believe that was here. But, we are definitely going to see that tire game play out once again here, I think.
It's going to be interesting to see who dips in first.
Negus now just making his way off pit road, and still Todd Cousins stuck in there with those top three. Negus gonna pull out here, and Greg McDaniel, he's gonna just say, oh man, I didn't realize you were that fast, Scott. I mean, look at the difference there in new tires. I mean, that is cold out of the pits here, B-Mac, and that is why, you know, maybe that first guy coming down pit road in this top three, as here comes Tom Ogle. I mean, track position could mean everything. I don't know if you're James Hislop, if you can risk being undercut here.
I don't think you can. That's what's so tricky, especially you see a guy like Tom Ogle, one of those guys comes onto pit road, and you got to start thinking about making a move. But I'm of the opinion of you, like you, track position here is king, and you don't want to be hung out to dry being the last guy on pit road.
Yeah, I would just think even, you know, I mean, we've seen it. You can get the 4 or 5 laps difference, and yes, you are quicker, but with the pace that we have seen Kotska have, I mean, he now stuck in second here. Oh, Scott Negus. Oh boy, Ryan. We almost had one. Scott Negus came up there like Superman with the cape on, and Kotska was shutting the door. But I think he caught it in the mirror just in time. That was almost a close one.
Just like what we saw earlier in the race. The closing rate when you have new tires is so different than when you don't. I think it's difficult for both cars. I think it's difficult for the closing car and the car that's getting closed on to be able to judge that distance.
No, and Brian, not that you want to be that guy, but really, I mean, you know, if you want to be a race car driver, you want to have something to go for, you do kind of got to be that guy. And if you're Scott Negus, you say, you know, I short pit to try to get some track position. I need to get a lap back here. You're racing for the championship, man. You make the right move. And whether that's right or wrong, so, you know, you're a race car driver. Sometimes that's what you got to do.
Yeah, you got to make the call. You got to make the call and let go the way it needs to go. But I think I'm of the opinion like you that you have to be decisive. And if you do make a move like that, you got to stand by it.
That's exactly what we saw.
But these cars are still they're still running nose to tail after 104 laps. They're still just running right on top of each other.
It's interesting to see now, too. Todd Cousins, he has let those guys go back around as here comes Embassy on new tires as well, trying to knife his way through the lead pack. But we do have, once Embassy works that white car around the front three, we've run 100 and almost 5 laps here, B-Mac. And, man, nose to tail.
You know these guys, every one of them is just white knuckling it. They haven't let go of the wheel since they started.
Really is kind of unbelievable, too. We've seen some guys have some hiccups, obviously some penalties are shaking things up, but for 3 of the top 4 to currently be running 1, 2, 3 and over the halfway point, I mean, is an overall here for the story arc. We can't ask for much more than that here.
True Championship Sunday. Looks like Hislop's starting to pull a gap on the other two. Either he's opening up, or the tires are starting to fall off on Kotska and Sean there.
And remember, we did see Kotska, you know, slap the outside wall. He was racing pretty hard with Courtney Nelson there. So you never know, I mean, how that race car is feeling. I know now, like I say, we came in on lap 46. Do the math here this time by. That's 60 laps ago, and we have, do a little more math here, a little over 60 to go. I mean, we're getting at that point where if you wanted to cut it in half, we're about 3-4 laps away here, B-Mac.
Yeah, I think the door's open right here. And I think the floodgates will open once you see one of those. Oh, Dwayne MacArthur coming onto pit road. That's notable.
General is running 5th here. Dwayne is maybe, you know, the spotter relay the information to the boys up front here. Does that put some pressure on the gang? As you see Victor Lane come out of the pits there on cold tires, does a good job of keeping it down on the bottom. But Andrew Kotska caught him at the worst time there. And you can see that caught him, I want to say, probably 3 or 4 car lengths. Tough break for him. And Greg McDaniel, he's got a meatball flag. What that means to me is he blew the tire. You can see it kind of angled there. Got a flat front tire.
So the 77's in for normal service.
Front
Zach,
three.
let's say you're Andrew Kotska. You see his lap getting a little bit smaller in the mirror. You know, what do you do here? Do you jump on pit road and push the action, or do you sit back?
Yeah, if I'm Kotska, I get on pit road really soon, because that first run, B-Mac, I mean, he looked like he was unstoppable. I didn't know if anybody was going to get to him. And now Patrick Martindale, I'm hearing, he blows a tire. I kind of heard it drop. He's got a meatball flag. And man, oh man, the front three continue to keep going. Kotska, what are you doing here?
It's like his lap starting to put even more of a gap on these other two. So, like you said, man, you get time to start thinking about doing something. You're seeing that car get smaller and smaller and smaller, and you're running out of laps.
No, and, you know, to go at the other side of this here, B-Mac, this is maybe not good for James Hislop. You know, you're starting to feel yourself, and, oh, as Sean Foltz comes down pit road, yeah, maybe, you know, you're running pretty good. You stay out there too long. You know, you grow your own head, you're feeling good, and now we'll have to see. I think you got to come in within 2 laps, or he's going to lose that track position to the 59.
Yeah, I think as soon as the 59 pits, that sets the stage. You got to come on in now.
He's going to go on by. Kotska's not. Kotska's coming down pit road, and I'm telling you, it looked like he was driving turn 2. He absolutely nailed it. You don't get any quicker than that with a pit road entry. So we will see, Andrew Kotska, how it pays off. And as we're watching Kotska come down, all on my screen, I'm going to watch the leader just to see what Hislop does. You don't have to change, Ryan, but man, Hislop, you got to think. Clock is ticking, 92, coming down pit road, leader's pit. Now Crisco, he'll get handed the lead here. Wouldn't this be a story? Crisco stays out on the racetrack, maybe gets a caution flag here, B-Mac. I mean, boy, oh boy.
Bring the man home a checkered flag.
So we will have to see. So I'm looking over here at pit times. Everybody pretty good in the mid 50 seconds. Nobody really slowing themselves up with a slow pit stop. Oh, Hislop overshot the box. Overshot the box. Had to rewind there, and man, that could be it. That could be all she wrote, B-Mac.
That's at least 3 positions right there, and it is the worst feeling in the world when you do that.
You see Kotska rolling on the outside here. He's ahead of him, no problem. And man, Hislop, he is gonna have to. Oh man, he's gonna be kicking himself. He's gonna have to go.
Yeah, that's a tough break.
Now, Sean Foltz, though, that's the big winner. He had come in, what, 2 laps before Kotska, I think? And I mean, Sean Foltz right now, what does he have, 2 seconds over Andrew Kotska? I mean, he is up there a ways almost. No, it's 4 seconds. Sean Foltz, 4 seconds up the road here.
That's what happens when you come in first. You get that extra track position, that extra lap time, and makes a huge difference.
Jerry Isaacs, he's coming down pit road. He's got the beat ball as well. He must have blown a right front tire. He needed to stay out there, hope for a caution. It didn't come, and now Jerry Isaacs, he's going to need a lot of help here if he wants to contend for a championship.
So that one small pit cycle changed the whole tone of the race.
Yeah, that really did. It absolutely changed everything. And Sean Foltz now, he is the man who is carrying the championship torch, but the man carrying the actual torch here in the desert, none other than Liberace in the Sprite, the White Claw Outlaw. How have I just heard this nickname, B-Mac? Oh my gosh, I could have had so much fun with that.
Tom loves his White Claw.
Let's see here. Hopefully he's not drinking too much while he's driving, because he is going to have his hands full. Sean Foltz coming up from behind, 1.5 seconds back, and he's got a little help behind him because Dwayne MacArthur and Roger Hurley are sandwiched in between him and Andrew Kotska. So Kotska, not just going to have a free run to go up here, folks. He's going to have to work, and at the same time, he's got some pressure in that rear view. The 92 of James Hislop. Oh, man, you don't want to harp on it. But that reverse in the pit stop, that's what we're looking at right there. He would be in front of that machine had he not made that mistake.
Yeah, and Sean's 4 seconds ahead of them both. So that's what the coming in 2 laps earlier got for him.
Folks, reeling in your leader here, Tom Ogle. If you're Tom, I mean, you got to fight a little bit, but at the same time, you got to make sure you got the kid gloves on here. You can't be too rough if you're Tom. But I think once again, you put the responsibility on Sean. How bad you want the championship?
Yeah, Tom did like 5 laps earlier than the rest of these guys. His tires going to be a little bit older.
12 laps.
12 laps.
12 laps earlier.
Yeah, so his tires are going to be a lot more worn out than Sean. So at some point, you got to let the guy go. But Tom is not easy to pass either. And if you're Sean, well, you're just going to get around him right now.
Well, this is really unbelievable. I mean, Sean absolutely nailed his pit road. I mean, he came in 1 lap earlier than Andrew Kotska, and he's got over 3 seconds to him. I mean, that is just, you want it, you got to take it. And that is exactly what Foltz did. I mean, I hate to say I told you so because I kind of covered all of them tonight, but man, when the strategy king, was just rolling around there in 3rd, you had to think he was right where he wanted to be. And now the question is, I mean, we've got a little over 50 to go. Does he have enough to bring it home?
Yeah, we've got a lot to go. That's long to close out the race. But I think you're right. I think we saw him kind of sailing around, sitting in 3rd, not really pushing the car too much. Probably had this in mind all along. So now he's right where he wants to be, but he's got 50 laps to go, 52 laps to go.
See Kotska reeling in the general here. He's got his lot behind him. James knows anywhere that 40 goes, he's got to follow. Got to be there. Can't waste any time. And Kotska going to get the run here, but it's not a good enough run. The general shuts the door here. Where's he tell him to go? Going to roll right in the middle of the racetrack here. Not going to give Kotska very many options. Going to force him to work for it.
Looks like most of the track is in shadows and shade right now, so our track temperature is likely dropping. It's going to make the track even racer than it already is.
Yeah, and if you're Hislop, you're trying to take advantage of this. Get to the outside. He slapped the wall. Oh, boy. He tried to make the move, and the general, he is just trying to stay out of the way here. He doesn't want to get caught in any friendly fire. Let's see what Kotska does here. James going to take a peek to the outside one more time here. Maybe try to over-under. Almost clips the apron trying to rotate the race car. He's got a good run off the corner, but so does Kotska. He just can't make the move.
It's so hard to pass here.
And not only that, but you got to save a little bit of tire here to go at that leader if you want to get the championship. Kotska finally gets to the outside here as the general leaves the door open. What does Hislop do? He can't waste any time. He's got to try to follow suit here, but he can't get to the outside.
It's like you're going to take it to the inside here instead.
Yeah, and there you go. You've got to get those elbows out. Exactly right. That's what the 92's got to do. Got to go try to get this thing as the general slaps it off the outside wall. Hislop right where he needs to be, but the problem is Sean Foltz, he is in his own zone here. These guys racing hard, B-Mac, but they are still over 2 seconds behind your race leader.
Sean's got clean racetrack, which means he can be smooth and take care of his tires while everybody else behind him is just battling like a bunch of bees. He is thrilled to see this right now.
Tom Ogle, we talked about how he was one of the first comers down pit road, and, you know, he's feeling it. Those tires, what can he do? Can he even fight off Andrew Kotska? Kotska takes a peek there. Kotska going to have to drive it in, and this is where if you're Hislop, you hope Tom fights back on the outside, but I just don't think he's got enough.
Yeah, he's just running out of tires right here. Not much you can do at this point.
His Negus,
here.
Yeah, he tried. He said, go have fun, boys. You guys got some pink on your race car. Go for it. And now we're back. Top three are your front runners in the championship, but 2.5 seconds up the road is that 59.
It's quality racecraft by Ogle right there, understanding the situation. And once he realized he couldn't get by, just pulled down, let the championship guys go by. Smart racing there.
See Jerry making a move here. Isaacs is still on the lead lap. You never know what could come his way. If we could get a late race caution, maybe that would really mix things up here in Phoenix. I know that is not what Sean Foltz wants to hear, though, B-Mac. He needs this thing to stay green.
Yeah, Sean wants to see that green flag at every lap.
So let's see here. As they come around this time by, the gap was 2.52. This time by, it is 2.487. I'm not very good at math here, but I don't know if he's catching them fast enough.
I don't think he is. I mean, Sean's got running in his own zip code right now. But Koska got past her, stayed past his lap, got clean racetrack ahead too. So this is typically when Andrew starts to shine.
And if you're, I mean, you know, his lap, obviously you don't want to limit yourself here. But I think you're James, you're almost in that mentality of, I got to help you get up to the lead. You know, we got to work together. And then when we get there, we can do this thing. Well, all three of us battle. But for now, they got to get there first.
That is some smart racecraft. You know, it's easy to go side by side and battle that guy and then watch Sean just get smaller and smaller and smaller. So good racecraft is just sitting back and letting you guys both work together until you can catch a leader, then all go to work together.
We saw Negus there get a little squirrely the last time by. He seems to have got it under control, but man, oh man, I thought that was that caution that I was itching for here to re-tighten this pack up.
That Kotsko's stretching a little bit from his lap there. And he's made up a couple of tenths on Sean Foltz, so he's slowly closing that gap.
Yeah, and it would have to be, you'd think, I mean, if you got anything left, I mean, Brian, you got to go now. I mean, if you catch him and you don't have anything left in the tank, that's one thing, but I think you got to at least try to go for it.
It's definitely time. You're running out of laps here.
We've seen Dwayne MacArthur and Tom Ogle have some pretty fun battles there in the past. Dwayne got around Tom there on the old tires. I'm sure Tom would have loved to have, traded a little paint there with the General, running a little harder. Tom is one of those guys who he could get a late race caution. I mean, he is as quick as anybody here on new tires. May play a factor. But right now, we are just running laps here, ticking them off. Sean Foltz out front, still over 2 seconds here over Andrew Kotsko.
That is a long gap. Sean is just setting sail right now, running his own race.
Yeah, and, I mean, you want to say, oh, well, those guys behind them, they have fresher tires, they'll catch them. But, Brian, it's only one lap. So, I mean, I just don't really see it coming here. I mean, if one of those two are to get up there to that 59, it is just going to be off sheer driving ability, just using up everything you got because, I mean, the deck is heavily stacked in the favor of that 59 right now.
Yeah, Sean's had clean racetrack for a while, so he's been able to run smooth laps, run his chosen racing line for these last 10 or 15 laps, where Kotsko and his lap have been battling back and forth, probably running their tires a little bit harder and running just a little bit harder than they'd like to right now. So it's definitely working in Sean's favor, and he definitely wants to see this thing go green the rest of the way.
Sean not really inching up on any lap traffic. I want to say the next car to go a lap down will be Andy Thomas, and he's crossing the start-finish line right now. So decent gap there. I mean, of about 3 or 4 seconds. So Foltz will maybe catch some guys here as we start to wind down. But right now, the gap last time looked to me to increase a little bit. Fultz actually almost a tenth and a half faster than Andrew Kotska last time by. And boy, oh boy, that is not what you want to hear if you're in the pit box of that 40 machine.
Looks like Oval and Blaine going after it again. Those two seem to always fight each other on the racetrack, one way or the other.
That's what I'm saying. They like to race, and no pressure, boys. But you get the gloves off. If we get a little sideways, get a caution, it may mix things up here. So we'll have to see how hard Tommy does run, and then right behind him, Roger Hurley too. So that's 3 cars all battling to get themselves inside the top 5.
Really good drivers too, so it would not surprise me at all to see them know the rest of the race.
Sean Fultz rides through 4 here, comes to the start-finish line. We are on lap 143. We've got 33 laps to go here. This is, it's really starting to click down, B-Mac. This is where, it seems like 33 laps, long time, but this is going to go pretty quick here, but maybe not for some drivers struggling on old tires.
Yeah, and Sean's maintaining about a 2.2 second gap, so he's been able to keep that gap consistent and be smooth. That's exactly what he wants to see, but I guarantee you he is right knuckle on that wheel right now, and he cannot wait for this race to end.
Sean Fultz, what a story it would be for him. He needed to win at Talladega, B-Mac. He didn't win. He was out. He wouldn't even be racing here for a championship. He got it done when he needed to with the help of, I believe, was it Andrew Kotska who helped him? It may have even been that man, now that it's sparking my memory. See Embassy on the bottom there. He's got those newer tires. He's on that extra pit stop strategy here. We are trying to use it all up here. They may want to bring out that yellow laundry just yet.
They're going to use every inch of racetrack trying. Oh boy, Sean Fultz is coming up in this pack of race cars. This he definitely does not want to see. This is going to slow him up once he reaches them. And if they are side by side, it's going to be really hard for him to get past.
Yeah, this has to be breathing some extra life into that 40 machine. This is Kotska. He can see it too. He knows these guys are racing hard. And if Fultz doesn't get up here and get his own way, this will cost him some time. And I know it's all about respect, but like we've talked about all night, those guys, they've got a race to run, and you can't expect them to do anything else but just kind of focus on what they're doing here.
That's right. And look, getting through lap traffic is part of racecraft. It's part of what makes you a good race car driver. And your ability to get through race traffic without losing too much time, it's just something that you have to do every single week.
So here we go.
He's catching up to him.
Yeah, he's starting to get to the point now, too, where it's going to affect that handling a little bit. He's got to make sure he doesn't overdrive the exit of the corner, slide up the track. He's just got to let these spots come to him naturally here as he gets a big run on Scott Negus. You can see he kind of checks up Negus. He gets a little loose there and takes some air off the rear end. That was a good save by that McDonald's machine.
It sure was. You see how far Sean moved up almost into the wall to get past him. That's something he definitely didn't want to see right there. And Kotska's closing into under 2 seconds now. That little slip cost Sean almost 0.3 of a second.
Now Todd Cousins is going to go up high out of the way while, nice giving up the bottom. You can see now the 59. He'll lose that momentum coming off the corner. Can't float up to the outside wall. And now seeing that gap down to 1.7 seconds. Man, you don't want to give Andrew Kotska any extra breaths here.
I remember Kotska's got to clear this traffic too, so once Andrew gets to it, you'll probably see him slow up a little bit, but Sean's definitely not liking seeing that gap close up.
You know how that goes, B-Mac. Life isn't fair, and that second guy in line always gets by a little easier than that leader, it seems.
That is true.
Man,
quick work of these guys.
Yes, he is right now, stuck behind. Uh-oh. See, he's stuck behind right now. I mean, we saw that happen earlier. I mean, Courtney ran him so hard. Or wait, no, that was with Kotska. That's right, that was with Kotska. But now, does he maybe, you know, play a little defense here?
It looks like that wheel's still pointed out. I don't know how he's driving that thing. That car's almost crabbing down the straightaway. Sean's going to make quick work of him here.
Yeah, Sean makes it look easy there. Courtney not able to put up the fight he'd maybe like to. And now Sean Foltz, he is just itching to get out of this race car. He is 23 laps away from becoming an OBRL champion. He is 1.7 seconds up the road. Katya, you see him on the slip and slide there. I mean, he is working that race car, absolutely trying to get all of it. Is Tom Ogle working back under the general?
Yeah, it's definitely time to go right here. So if you've got anything left, you'll give it all you got right here.
It's with a bit of a clear racetrack now for a while, and man, if you're Andrew Kotska, you're going to have to get up on the wheel and go get this. You're not going to get any more help here unless it comes in the form of a late caution flag.
So because the Nelson are side by side, it's going to impact Kotska's ability to get past him. Meanwhile, Sean's just setting sail. You know, Sean's running his whole race. Think back to the very beginning, the mid parts of the race when he was kind of riding back in third place there. It's been smooth the entire race, just biding his time, managing his tires, managing his equipment, and then when it was time to go, when it was time to make the call, it was his call that affected the outcome of this race.
Really was, and I mean, it is so easy to sit up here and say, you know, oh, you got to pit early. Like I was kind of stressing, but to be the one in the car, you're there, you can see the leaders. And I mean, he probably felt that same thing that you felt, B-Mac. Hislop was pulling away a little bit. And hey, if I'm going to make the move to win this race, I got to do something right now. And to make that move, I mean, it says everything about that driver, the 59.
He is notorious or famous for always doing what other people don't. And I'm not the least bit surprised to see him manage the outcome of a race this way. So it's one of the tools in his toolbox.
18 laps to go this time by for the 59. He's still holding about a 1.8 second gap over Andrew Kotska, who has seen James Hislop close in a little bit. I mean, Hislop, he's right there, but I think he's still kind of in that camp where, I mean, I can't race you too hard. We got to try to do this together because, you know, Kotska, he's not just going to say, hey, James, you're quicker than me. Go ahead. You go try to do this. I mean, there's no way Andrew has an ounce of that in his body right now.
Not with 17 laps to go, he doesn't.
Courtney there, get to the outside. Kotska able to drive underneath now. Is he gonna let Hislop get him back here in this next corner? Looks like he is. That's the smart move. You don't want to slow down your teammate there. Let him float up to the outside. He does. Oh, Hislop needed all of it.
Hislop's hammered that wall at least 5 or 6 times.
Yes, he did. I mean, he's got a new one for next season, I'd imagine. You know, you don't need this one anymore. You might as well use up all of it. He is doing just that.
Spend every cent.
15 laps to go here. Sean Foltz crosses the line. You see a little bit of lap traffic as the gap still stays around 1.8 seconds here. I mean, Kotska, he's going to have to, I mean, he's got to get him a 10th a lap here if he even wants to think about it. And that is not going to be easy to do.
Yeah, he's going to need some help here. Need a caution or something like that.
$14 to go. Lap traffic continues to run in front of your leader here. Martindale going to get up out of the way. Foltz says thank you, drives right underneath, and man, Foltz hasn't got that kind of treatment here in a while. He will take that.
Yeah, the 93 and Sean are teammates, so it's a good teammate move there. Let your teammate go by.
Coming across the line, let's see the gaps. Was 1.7 down to 1.5. Andrew Kotska, what can he do here? He's got a little bit of life left in that 40 machine.
You got to wonder if the 93 is going to let Andrew Kotska go by as cleanly as he let his teammate go by.
I wouldn't be upset with him if he didn't, but honestly, not putting the pressure on Patrick, but I expect nothing less of him. He's kind of done that all season. I wouldn't think he'd turn it on now, but man, we'll have to see. It definitely, you know, I mean, you got a chance your teammate to hoist that wonderful trophy that, who did we say makes those? Sean makes those?
Yes, he does. The winner will make it.
So Sean may not have to deliver it very far. I mean, if he could just make his own trophy, it may be now, you know, are there rules against this? He may make the best trophy you guys have ever had for this season.
I could see him doing that.
I mean, wonder if his 3D printer does gold, you know, maybe he can work some solid gold into that thing. I mean, this one may be up on that shelf for a while, as I don't want to jinx him, but he's coming to 10 laps to go, and man, it is looking good for that 59 right now. Lloyd Moore making the move here under Crisco. Crisco doesn't look to be, no, he is gonna storm back on the outside. Thought he was gonna try to just let him go on by, fall in line, but this is the battle for ninth. Gotta make him work a little bit more on the bottom here, able to get back into the throttle, but Crisco's still on the outside here. They aren't done yet.
Crisco battling.
Scott Negus, I'm hearing, may have a flat tire, and he was one of those guys who came down pit road a little early. I think he's got the meatball flag. He's able to get down on the apron, should get off the racing surface, and man, sadly, I'm telling you, B-Mac, that's what we need. We need those right fronts to blow debris out on the racetrack like we would in real life.
Looks like Andrew's Kotska's 1.3 seconds. He closed a few tenths there. 8 laps to go.
Does he have the time here? I mean, if he can get there, you almost got to assume he's going to do what it takes to try to bring it home, but he's got to catch him. As he crosses the line this time, he clicked off another 10th and a half here, but he's only got 7 to go.
He got in the wall. Got up in the marbles and got in the wall there. That's going to impact him a great deal. Looks like he's in the wall again.
Lifts the wall, yeah, one more time, and that may be all she wrote there for the 40 machine. Is Roger Hurley, I'm here, and he's the next victim. Another meatball, got another flat tire, but I think he made it to pit road, so shouldn't bring out a caution flag here. Just look at Kotska, he is sailing it. I mean, he's working it, he's driving it in if he can. Five laps to go here for the 59 of Sean Foltz, who is so close to a championship. James Hislop, he's got the gap down to 1.2 seconds here, but I don't know if he's got enough time.
He is definitely turning it on. We're going to find out here. over the last 4 laps, his lap has been consistently faster than our leader. So unless he's going to run out of laps, he's been a little bit quicker each time through.
Got it down to 1 second here, but with 4 laps to go, he's going to need more than that. He is going to need to get to that rear bumper as Foltz using up every inch of the racetrack, floats up to the outside wall. We are coming to 3 laps to go, B-Mac.
He's feeling it right now. Longest 3 laps of your life right here.
He gained him another 2.5 tenths there. James Hislop. He's got some bullets left in the gun here, but does he have enough time? Oh boy, we are running out. He's only got 6 sets of corners left. He taps the wall coming off at 3. As we send it into 4, we've got 2 laps to go. He is close. He is closing in.
Hislop is driving. He's using every inch of racetrack and some of the wall to get there.
Still got him a 10th last time by as we roll through turn 2. What do we have as the guys enter 3 and 4 here? The white flag set the wave. Can Sean Foltz hold on and become a champion here in the desert?
Only 3 more sets of corners to find out.
Sean Foltz hung around most of the race here, just bided his time in P3, started to lose some pace on your leader, James Hislop, came down pit road a lap before the leaders, took advantage of track. Oh, he is an OBRL YesterYear Cup Series champion. Sean Foltz gets it done at the Phoenix Raceway. James Hislop, what a season, comes home P2. And Andrew Kotska, man, that is going to be a hardcore BMAC. What could have been 3rd place? Kotska with a great race car, rough pit stop, and, well, just kind of got hung up there, man. He is going to be kicking himself for quite some time. But what a season and what a win by Sean Foltz.
You know, this race was a Sean Foltz special. He has this way of affecting the outcome of a race by a strategy call, and here he did it to win the race and win the championship. Congratulations, Sean.
Couldn't be a driver more well-deserved. You see guys coming up there, giving him the congratulations slap there from the general. Sean Foltz, you take a minute, you celebrate, brother. You hydrate, you get ready for your interview. You earned it. You're the champion. We are going to step away here on the Virtual Grip Network for a couple minutes. Be right back with, well, our final rundown of the season here, and we'll see what guys stick around for interviews tonight. But we'll be right back on the Virtual Grip Network. We are back live on the virtual Grip Network after, man, oh man, B-Mac, I'm going to throw you under the bus here now. You told me after. I had no idea he was your teammate. You did amazing keeping that in. Sean Foltz, man, you know him better than me. I mean, how is that guy feeling right now?
He is ecstatic. I just talked to him in our team channel. Obviously, he's thrilled. He's been doing it all year, doing it in for the last couple of years for Top Flight. It's been a pleasure having him on our team. And yeah, I was silently cheering him on the whole way.
Well, let's go ahead. Let's take a look at this final finishing order. And I mean, you couldn't ask for much more than that. As we do the rundown here, the top 4 guys in contention finished inside the top 6. I mean, that's how you want it to go. Sean Foltz brings home the win, holds off a hard-charging James Hislop, who comes up just short. Andrew Kotska rounds out the podium. The General Dwayne MacArthur coming home 4th. Liberace coming home 5th. Isaacs there 6th. Greg McDaniel 7th. Lloyd Moore 8th. Crisco coming home 9th. And Andy Thomas rounds out the top 10.
And coming over 11th was Victor Lane. Coming over 12th and 93, Patrick Martindale. 13th, Scott Negus. 14th, Courtney Nelson after leading the race and hitting that unfortunate wall. And 15th, Tommy Macy. 16th, Roger Hurley. 17th, Todd Cousins. And rounding out the field, 18th, Dave Matson.
Well, you know, normally it's fun coming up here talking to us. But as the 3rd place finisher tonight, I don't know how much fun it's going to be for this man. Is Andrew, Shaggy in the booth, brother. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
I'll tell you, man, after what looked like it was just going to go your way tonight. I mean, that first run, you're running towards the front, but after that caution flag, Courtney able to get by you, obviously going to race you hard. You know, I mean, he's James's teammate. He's got to make you work. And it just seemed like as soon as you lost that clean air, I mean, the race just kind of turned upside down on you.
Yeah, that dirty air was nasty out there. Having that clean air was amazing the first part there, but overall it was a great race, great season here at OBRL. Still happy with even just making the championship 4 here. I mean, such a tough group of racers in here, and you saw it out there tonight how tough that battle was between the 3 of us with James and Sean up front. Like it was absolutely wild. Some great racing out there.
Now, Andrew, obviously, you know, coming down a lap later than Sean Foltz, but there was a pretty big gap. Was there something I missed there? Did you maybe have a slow pit stop or overshoot the box there?
Yeah, I overshot the pit box there, just ever so slightly, and that definitely helped him get that gap. I think James did the same thing as well, too. That's why we were so close, and Sean had that nice big gap there.
Makes sense, yeah. We saw James. You got lucky. You know, we weren't highlight you. He couldn't miss his. We saw it alive, so, he couldn't lie his way out of it. But, Andrew, at the end of the day, man, you know, you start running him down. It's got to give you a little bit of confidence for next season. I mean, you came into here, man, you were the 3-digit number. You were the guy who probably should have won at COTA, but had to start at the back. And, I mean, you kind of mentioned it. Even being here, that's awesome. But from where you started this season, not to keep you here longer, but just what does it kind of mean to you, man? Because, I mean, let's be honest, you were a nobody around here, man, and now you're a somebody for real.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an absolutely unbelievable season. Like, I'm surprised that I was even able to get 7 wins this year. I mean, with how tough this field was out there, I mean, absolutely insane. Like, just great racing all throughout the season. Like, everybody in this league, just absolute blast.
Well, Andrew, this is... it's not even arguably. This is the best gig I've ever been a part of, man. You guys put on a heck of a show every weekend, and I know it didn't go your way, but man, it was fun to watch, and I can't wait to be back here the next year. So you better have that butt parked back in that 40 machine, man. Can't wait to see you out there. Congratulations on the great season. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, first of all, thank you guys here in the booth. Like, you guys do such a great job, and that's why you're coming back again next year to bring out even more racing next season. Shout out to the entire OBRL admin team and the drivers here. Just great racing all season long. Shout out to any family and friends out watching on YouTube, and excited to start going again in February here.
Well, congratulations on the good run, Andrew. And like I say, man, good luck next season, brother.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Now, looking around here. I don't see talking to my producer at the same time. I don't see James Hislop hanging around in here, but you know what? This is honestly, who better? I mean, B-Mac should have to do this. I mean, that's his teammate. He kept it quiet this whole time. B-Mac, who better than you, man? Let's talk to our champion.
Sean, my man, a great win today. Way to bring home a championship. Tell me how you feel right now.
I'm still trying to, gather it all in here.
So, Sean, take us through your last pit stop. We were talking in the booth about how you tend to always manage to affect the outcome of a race with the strategy call, and this race was no different. Putting first is one of the things that got you that track position and helped you keep that track position. So walk us through your mindset right there.
So I knew if I could pit early, and I looked at how many laps I had on my tires and how many laps were left, and I was like, all right, it was about 65-ish around there. And I figured if I pit now and just go all out when I come out of the pits and try to get as much as I can, and maybe those guys pit the next lap or 2 laps later, that difference on the racetrack, that lap time difference, as I could get me a big enough lead to where I could, maybe take it a little easy, but then just start running it hard in the middle of my run to the very end. So I was hoping that if I pitted, they might, sit there and think about it for a lap or 2. And while they're doing that, I could go out there and just run as hard as I can just to try to get that distance on them.
And that's exactly what happened. When you came out of the pits, you had a 4-second lead, and that allows you to keep that track position. It looks like they were really racing hard at the latter part of the race and helped you save your tires. One of the things we were talking about in the early part of the race is it seemed like you were just kind of biding your time. The leaders, top 2 guys, were really mixing it up, a lot of side-by-side racing, and we saw you right behind them, single file, taking care of your tires. Was that part of your plan?
Yeah, I knew I had to take care of my tires at 43 to 45 laps. I'd have my crew chief come on the radio tell me to take care of my tires, so that meant I was at 50%. So I knew I had to sit there and just ride behind them, maybe not let them get too far out, but that's all I was doing was just saving my tires and just riding there.
Well, Sean, fantastic race, fantastic season, bringing home the championship for Top Flight Racing. Couldn't be happier. Tell us who you want to thank right now.
Well, I want to thank you, Boss Man, Top Flight Racing, all my teammates there, everyone in the OBRL, all the drivers, all the admins, VGN, awesome job with broadcasts and everything, and everyone just putting together a great league and a good place to race. I mean, it's a lot of fun.
We do love it here. And Sean, you definitely put on a great season, for Top Flight and every week you race. Certainly appreciate it. And thank you so much for a great race today. Congratulations on the championship. Go burn them down and have some fun.
Yep. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Well, B-Mac, I mean, you could hear it, man, at the beginning, the jitters kind of in his voice. I mean, it may be virtual, man, but the time that, we all put into this, it matters, and it is awesome seeing it pay off for Sean, man. He's going to enjoy this one for a long time.
You won't find a driver who works harder. The guy who works harder in our team, he's also an admin for the OBRL, so he does a lot of great work for us. Obviously makes our trophies really such an integral part of this league. So it's one of those guys where you see him win and it makes you feel good. You see him win championships and it makes you feel good. So we couldn't be prouder, and everybody in the league, I'm sure, is really happy for Sean right now.
And, really, because you're up in the booth, I mean, he may have to, you may have to get your name inscribed on that trophy somewhere. You may have been the good luck charm here for him tonight. But
I think as team owner, I think that's just got to be the inscription on the trophy there. So I'm with that idea.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, Sean, it's your laboratory. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what he comes up with. I expect a big one for him. But guys, for the final time here, I mean, almost don't know what to do here. I mean, obviously we'll show what's coming up, but we're not going to be back next week. We are going to be back, I guess, mid-February when we return to Daytona. And B-Mac, not to throw you on the spot again, but do we know, or are you gonna do that with me?
I think so, man. I think I have to. I think these last 2 races have been a hoot. I've enjoyed it so much. It's been great to be able to call my teammates and call my league mates. So I think I'm going to come back and do it again.
That is awesome, man. I'm looking forward to it. This has been a lot of fun. But obviously, you know, we got a ways to go and do have some things coming up. I'm going to be there at the Atlanta Motor Speedway Tuesday night in the YesterYear 4 Racing Modifieds. And that's old school Atlanta. So it's not just going to be hammered down. You're going to have to work that thing a little bit. Obviously, we got the BRL Late Model Series on Saturday, and then 3 Tuesdays from now, as I do some math, maybe 2, who knows. We're at the Nashville Fairgrounds there for the triple bypass. But that's going to wrap it up here, boys. And this has been an awesome season. I'm going off the cuff now, so this may be a little long. But the OBRL guys, BMAC, you included, thank you for going out on a limb here, giving us a chance here to run your series. This has been amazing, and I cannot wait to come back. I literally, Ryan and I will talk sometimes hours after these things are over, talking about what's going to happen next week. I mean, we cannot wait to get back here. So, on behalf of everyone here, I'd like to thank my partner, BMAC, the dude in the back, Ryan Seneca, and last but not least, all of you for tuning in. Have a great night.